Why, hello, my name is Dava, and welcome back to City Skylines 2, where we will be back in the city of Davesport. Now, what we have going on here today is we will be reconstructing our financial district in downtown, and with that comes a lot of tearing over the roads. We might even move around the subway a little bit, but maybe not too much because it is kind of vast underneath the ground, as well as constructing a little area where we can form a pier in the area. Before we begin, I do want to give a little recap of everything, but also I really want to thank you guys for helping me reach 1,000 subscribers. This has been an achievement that I've been wanting to make for a while now, and really thank you all for helping me get there. I really appreciate all your support, all your comments that you leave too. They're all so great. Yes, let's begin. Now, for a little recap, let me show you what we did a little bit on stream before we start here. For starters, we've changed around this area. We've changed all of the trains as well. I didn't really go over the trains in depth before, but I will make a video about that in the future where we do make another or extend our train line further, and then I'll extensively go over the train. But we did decorate it, the stations, just a little bit. We revitalized this area by putting a little retaining wall around it, as well as continuing over here into the other portion of the half of downtown. We fixed up this bridge, as well as this downtown area. Now it's all symmetrical, and all the buses actually stop underneath here, underneath the bridge, with another building placed inside. So it just seems a little bit more, balanced. And the trains, the buses actually end in this portion, and one bus line goes across the bridge. Autosave. And it goes across the bridge, and makes its last stop at the other bus station. So that's how we have it so far. As well as one other thing, we're going to start to work our way down this way in the later future, but alongside those train reconstructions, we've also made a little ramp here for express lanes and local lanes to terminate at their according station. So the local lines, I wanted to put them in the middle because they have an easy access to go forward and turn around. Now again, this does take place with a day and night shift schedule. This is the night shift, so these trains will keep going forward. They won't stop here. But in day, the trains will go forward and turn around while the other express lines are on the outside, so I'd have them switch without having them cross these kind of tracks here. If there was one feature in the game I wish for, is that lane connector tool can actually, enable you to remove all of these little tracks here, because that's one of the most annoying things in this game, that I find anyway, because you can't remove them from stations, so you can remove them naturally. But yeah, this is just a way to make the trains, not switch and just kind of go across and go around like normal, without having to do too much. So yeah, we will work on this area over here soon. We're going to take this road from the highway over here and come down into this little birdsong field where the train will make its express stop, so it skips 4 stations between here and stops over here. And that's mostly what we've done last time. But for today, I want to destroy this entire area up here, including some of these relay tracks or these storage tracks up here. We're gonna make this as close as we can to this area up here. So we're gonna get rid of some of these tracks. We're gonna get rid of most of these roads. We're gonna get rid of all these roads. We might tamper with the tracks underneath. Maybe not the tracks, but the paths to the tracks for the station underneath here. Because there's just one station here, and everything else goes beyond here and goes downward. And eventually we will make another train line. I had a plan in the future to make the train go under 4th Avenue over here, because this is a big gap between all the way over here at Manor End all the way up to here. There is a big gap of space between here, so 4th Avenue will be a good station, or a good place to have a train run under. But you can give me a little tip on that if you want to in the comments. Let me know, how would you feel about a train running under here, because I feel like this would be a good corridor the trains to pass. It's a busy road. Well, nighttime right now, but not as busy as it looks, but it's a busy road, I can promise you that. That's why there's so many lanes on here. But yeah, again, we're gonna destroy this area. We're gonna prepare the landscape as well. There was a comment on the last video about making a little pier. So a pier, or rather an amusement park. Have an amusement park placed in the end. And when that comment hit me, I really said, that's actually a good idea, because there is one inspiration that I've personally been to that I really liked, and it was Chicago. So that's what we're going to base off this area over here. We're just gonna build the grid for today and try to at least set up the pedestrian access over here. So we're gonna show you how to do that as well. But mostly the grid and fix our tram network here. We do have to erase some of these little lines that we placed down, or these little paints as well. But yes, we're gonna reconstruct the land. We're also gonna pull some land inward, make this thing go more, you know, infill just a bit. And that way we give more space to the buildings. We can have more things in here, more density, offices, and really just go as much as we want with this area. And over here, we will retain mostly a pier-like aspect, so we can have the amusement park ready for when we want to build it. I also do want to keep in mind the building that we're going to place in here. It is the Ferris wheel, so we got to make sure that there's enough space for the Ferris wheel to fit in here for the pier to be concluded, as well as my anarchy's not on, as well as I will not try to say that name, as well as this thing. Yeah, these two things we got to prepare for these two. So, and that's quite a lot of space, honestly. That's really plenty. But yeah, we're gonna start by destroying this whole area and see what happens. I almost forgot, before we begin, I didn't talk about our little lead here, what we're going to do for our inspiration. This is what I meant by the Chicago Pier. Oh, it really just slipped my mind there. So this pier, I've physically walked on this pier, and I will say it's one of my favorite things, my favorite attractions about Chicago. Next to Millennium Park, of course, but just having a downtown, like a nice gridded downtown with the park side, as well as the piers, boats, and just the whole amusement park on the side here. This really does make a very nice appeal to your entire downtown. And if there was one thing I wish I did, was place a river through my city, but that would have taken a lot of effort to do and a lot of water management, and water is a bit finicky in this game, so I don't really want to mangle with it too much. But yeah, I really do like Chicago, and just the way its grid is placed out. It's one of my favorite skylines in the entire America. So with this being here, this is a good inspiration just for the entire area. We got the train passing through, the highway on the side as well, which we could actually kind of take advantage of. It's not really a highway, like not really a interstate or freeway. This is just a lakeshore drive over here that eventually does turn into a near freeway with no exits and no traffic lights. I meant with no traffic lights and just all interchanges here. So things like that, they're really fun to keep account of, and I think this will be a good little tip to keep with as well. Yeah, we will try to do something alongside of this. But now, with that being said, let's get into the time lapse. Okay, so now that we have everything erased here, let me give a little pause here. I want this grid to be relatively uniform. I want it to match this road here, Park Avenue, so just everything go in the up and north, or up and down corridor section, similar to this road here. So it's both named Park Avenue. Park Avenue turns? So weird. But yeah, in this iteration the entire time. I don't want it to move. We're gonna terraform this back as well. The only road that I want to do something different is Shore Avenue. This road will curve as much as it needs to within here, but also I do want to make some divots in here because I do want to make at least some piers or some space and some parkland, as well as a retaining wall in this area. The boat line, however, does pass nearby. We're gonna have to shift this over quite a bit. I'll keep this island, but we're gonna have to shift this over quite a bit. So this might be opened out further and curve inward, just to get this pier to fit in here. Also keeping more blank spaces between. So let's continue. And we are back with what we've built here. For starters, we did make a financial district as well as the pier front here, which I have to label a little bit better. But the piers, these roads are really just based off of literally just the piers that stick out. I wanted to put a bunch of branches between here, which I will do soon. Actually, I might do that just now after I finish talking here. And the pier front, or the larger pier front that we have over here, and another extension wing that we added up here as well. Alongside Park Avenue, this road continues to go forward alongside here that turns into Park Avenue. I really wish for the ability to change the name of roads so we can actually, you know, stop it here and continue Park Avenue from here, but yeah, there's not much you could do. I will say the toughest thing, the toughest challenge will be the station. It's quite far away from Broadway here. So I had to make the paths, because I wanted the station to be like, you know, right at South Park and Broadway. Was gonna be the station's name, but again, it's a little bit far. The paths do line up, however. There are invisible paths placed underneath here just so they can access all of these points. So they do take the train station if they can. I will have to remove this one though. Actually, let's do it now, because this one's actually protruding above onto the land. That will be quite bad, actually. And as well as a whole full grid. Now, Chicago is gridded, hence why I wanted to continue this area over here as a grid, except for Shore Avenue. Shore Avenue will be the one road that kind of just leans off the edge and just does what it wants and really just folds with the landscape itself. And I did leave some blank areas for some larger buildings or just some larger parks. Like the area around here, the pier front side, I want to make this just one big park and place some things between here that resemble a lot of green space. And then place all of our downtown buildings or our financial buildings or Imperial Tower inside of here as well. There will be times where I remove some roads just to fit those buildings, like an example being the World Trade Center. After its reconstruction, they closed a lot of roads, of course, but just from the before and after, you see that a lot of roads were closed just to place that building. And something I want to do like that, you know, just to give it a little mark about the roads that were here once before, just kind of taken away. We did add another tunnel over here, just because this area is more of a electrical area. I want to put this road to bypass everything and continue all the way down here to around 6th and 7th Avenue right here. So that'll be a nice little touch of things that can take place there, as well as more space between the train. Now, the one thing that kind of bothered me was that this area was kind of big, and I did want to make it, you know, cut back just a little bit. So we took away the parking lot, took away the road, and just continued the stretch of road between here. So that way it's much closer, it's leading up to each other. It feels nicer this way. And there'll be access. I need to put a tunnel to access from this building to the opposite side, because again, it's only a one-sided building. And it would be kind of bad to place it on only this side, because this is the main side, really. But this side does have access to the buses as well. And speaking of buses, we have to put another bus line and a bus ferry over here. And also speaking of ferry, this is a great place to have a ferry. And right next to the pier, either back here, up here, or somewhere alongside of these ridges here. And the talks from earlier of adding a train pass through here alongside 4th Avenue, right across from here. Because again, I am lacking, you know, I got trains over here to come down through here to Manor End, and trains up here to go to Hemlock End. However, there are no trains coming down like this corridor area between here. So 4th Avenue wouldn't be a bad spot for a train. And this train line might be separated from the entire system that we have here. And I might want to make this train line, not even might, probably will, make this train line pass right next to or alongside of this station here and run all the way up to the pier front where we'll have the boats and everything placed up here. That way it gives it a whole new section to work with, because I do have trams, but my trams, they don't feel like they're going to be enough for what I want to do here. I feel like there'll be more people and the trams might be a little bit too congested. And the subway really just connects to everything. Sure, the tram does connect to the subway here, but I want a little bit more capacity, more the ability to transfer, you know? That makes it feel a little better. And speaking of tram, I might move the tram to continue to be off edge or off the road here and run alongside the park front that we have in here, and then turn its way into the Broadway over here instead of passing between Shore. But part of me also likes the way it looks when the tram passes between the road. It gives a nice feature, really, to the city. And this view from the city alongside Shore Avenue is probably one of my favorites. If we get the park up and running, this will actually probably be one of my favorite images to take here. This could be like a nice, take it right here. But again, we're gonna work on the piers. So I will be back with you soon. And once we get that, that'll probably, or most likely, be the end of the video. And there will be some things that I'll have to say at the end, but I digress. Let's continue. And we are back with our final result here. Now, there are a few things that we did. I started to make a pier here and I just remembered, oh wait, I can't do that. I was supposed to put the boat there. So I was like, oh, whoops. So there's no pier there. There are some down here. However, located in these small crevices, I didn't want to put them on every little nook and cranny here because I do want to put some buildings here. And as well as like areas like over here, I do want to put something. Like it could be just all park, really. And just the little things. I do have like these little custom piers as well that I have in my little asset here from Jay's wooden pier element 1 and Jay's pier 2 and 3. I do want to put these down as well, but I will put these down for mostly on stream because I don't know how these work yet. They're really just really situational, so I really want to try them out, see how they feel. But we do actually have boats from Jay's assets as well, which we can place between here. Now I didn't see spacing wise how close I should put these things before I place them, but these actually do feel quite nice to just place, you know, alongside here. I might have to put near roads even just to make it look like they fit here, but that'll be for a later date. I'm waiting for like a medium-sized boat. I don't know if I can find that anywhere, but those can be placed here. We did place like a little wave wall, so I placed this here because of the boats that would pass by in the future. Realistically speaking, they would produce waves and kind of, you know, shift the boats around as they pass through here. So we put like a little, almost like a sound dampener, but for water around here, so the waves wouldn't just be, you know, crazy passing through here. And it adds a little nice detail. We can, or not can, but we will make this look a little bit better because right now it's very ugly. But we will make this look better. I can guarantee you that. And yeah, I do like the way how this turned out. The downtown is for sure bigger. I have like a little before and after picture here of how the landscape has changed, but it does look a lot nicer. And now I can actually, now that I have this area located or situated, I can actually build an area within here, which I had saved for later for detailing a port. So if in time where bridges and ports does have, you know, like smaller boats that can pass through here, like actual smaller travel, we can have like a little communication bay between this area and this area, so we can get a little shortcut to downtown without having to, you know, drive all the way across the bridge or take the train, which I'd prefer them to do anyway, but things like that. And this would be a nice touch to the city. And also, now that I say take the train, we could actually have a train line pass from here to here rather than going all the way up into downtown. It is nice to go through downtown, but a little skip area through here would be an interesting idea. Maybe that new train line that I thought of before, kind of skip between here. An interesting idea, but we'll see how it plays out in this perspective. But yes, this will be the end of this video here. Thank you guys for coming down today. We will be playing this more on stream. We will be trying to build more on stream. Now, I do only stream on YouTube on Tuesday, if my internet works correctly, I should say. We will try to do this a little bit more. I will try to stream more on YouTube as often as I can, but I do play this more on Twitch, so we will see more of this happening here. But thank you guys for coming today. I do appreciate everything, and again, thank you for the 1,000 subscribers. I really couldn't have done it without you because you guys are those subscribers. But again, I do try to put a little bit of effort into what I build. I try to keep in mind of how I'm building, and I read the comments as much as I can. I appreciate all of you guys' feedbacks, all of you guys' thoughts, just 2 words really. Even if they're bad, they're still good because they really do help me in what I should do. You know, like if I talk too much, if I ramble, if I, you know, if things don't look right, I want you guys to tell me that because it really does help. But yes, I will leave you off right down here in this landscape. The little buses passing the bridge. Yes, I will see you guys again next time. Take care.